Welcome back to the channel. My name is Abel, and today we're going to be talking more about Football Manager 2021, which is just around the corner. The game is going to be out a month today as we're recording this, November 24th, meaning that we should get a beta in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's really not far away now, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've been, in the evenings, I've been not knowing what to do because I've been wanting to play this. I've uninstalled the FM20 now. And it's been hard knowing sort of what to do. I've been playing sort of games on my own time. I've been playing Among Us, which is really, really fun. And you know what? It'd be good to do stuff like that with other people soon. Because FM21, I definitely want to get more involved with doing stuff with the community, like videos with other people in the community. I'd love to do more stuff like that. So that's an idea. But yeah, we are really not far away. In the last FM21 video, I revealed my series, my 2 series that I'm going to be doing for FM21 beta. We are doing West Ham United. And then for a main save, we're doing Eastern Convergence 2 with Steaua Bucharest in Romania in the 3rd tier. There's lots of stuff to look forward to, but today we're going to talk about features, which I haven't really done yet. Because we had that 1-minute video a couple of weeks ago, which showed, a few bits about interactions and things like that. And then not long after that, we got a video on their channel with Spencer Owen, Spencer FC, of course. The man behind #United. Good to see him fronting the FM21 announcements. And yeah, we got a little bit more detail about these new features. And then we also have some blog posts. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look through these different blog posts. So there are 4 blog posts, and there's also one which goes over how Football Manager is dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's going to be very interesting to read and see what they've done about that, because there's a lot of decisions to be made about stuff like that. Fan attendance, handshakes. Is the coronavirus going to be an in-game ailment, like an illness? There's lots of things to think about. I know I haven't read any of these yet. This is new. I've stayed away from them specifically so I can make a video about them. And then we're also going to look at Miles's Twitter, Miles Jacobson, the boss of Sports Interactive, who over the past few days has been revealing a few other different bits like regen faces and yeah, some more sort of quality of life improvements. So not too much in terms of new features, but just a couple of tweaks here and there just to make the game like that little bit better. So we're going to read through all this today. And then that might be it. But Miles is going to be tweeting a few more bits out. But again, it's going to be very minor sort of quality of life improvements rather than new features. So I'll probably be retweeting those. And then there might be some stuff that we don't even get told about. We might discover things for ourselves as well. So we'll have to wait and see, because there's things that you discover. I don't know when it was, but there was a person playing the game that was the first person to have a player come out as gay. So there's things like that we don't get told about. There's things that we have to discover for ourselves as well. Okay, so we've got the first blog post here, and it's about interaction. Football Manager 2021 sees a significant overhaul to the interaction system that puts you right in the middle of your football club with all the tools you need to make a difference. Now, we've got many screenshots here. Someone's having a chat with Jamie Vardy here. Leicester is being shown a lot in these blog posts with the badge and the faces as well. So that tells me that they've got a partnership with Leicester. They've used Watford in the past and they still do. I think they've used Everton before as well. So Leicester are the team that are being looked at here. So here we have a chat with Jamie Vardy, appraised conduct, and we have a Greek player. So we can wide arms, beckon with hand, or wave and nod. So I guess beckon with hand is like you come here sort of thing. And then we've got some positive comments we can make. I guess you can scroll down and get some more negative ones as well. But let's see what this says then. You'll feel more in control of the interactions you're involved in, with more tools at your disposal to get your point across, understand where others are coming from, and communicate more effectively, whether you're in a one-on-one discussion at a team meeting or a press conference. I'm going to read this. I'm not going to read every single word, because otherwise we're going to be here for an hour. But yeah, the idea is that they have added gestures into your interactions, also some quick chats, differences to press conferences, and face-to-face conversations. So here we can see another chat here with Lionheart from Freiburg. And again, you've opened your arms widely, which appear to improve his body language. So body language and, feelings are something that's going to be looked at a lot more in the game. So it looks like they've gotten rid of the assertive, calm, cautious, aggressive kind of thing, and they've replaced it with gestures. I'd like to see a bit of both, because there's one of these screenshots which I think says something like throws bottle of water or kicks bottle of water, which is just funny. But then you could do that passionately, but you could also do that aggressively. So it looks like the gestures is replacing like the manner of speaking, but I think really there should be both. I might be wrong though. We'll read into this a bit more. You can still lose your temper when you're trailing at halftime, only now you'll be throwing a water bottle across the room to show how annoyed you are. And these, I guess, are part of press conferences as well. So, yeah, press conferences. Here we go. So, we've got a question here. Are you happy with the squad you've inherited? So you can outstretched arms, smile warmly, point finger, shake head, open arms. And we've got some positive, like agreeing comments, or you can be a bit more neutral. I guess try and sit on the fence and not really comment, or some more negative comments as well. I'm not really one to send my assistant for press conferences. I usually do them all, and it's nice to see that they've finally changed them, because press conferences have been so repetitive for years, it seems now. So it's good to see that press conferences are getting like a big overhaul and like interactions and stuff, because I think they've needed it for a long time. So it's all about communication. The first bit, you know, they've kind of changed the way that you communicate with your players. It's more about body language now. It's just as much about body language as much about what you're saying. Something I want to bring up is something that I learned about during my developments with my job, and that's about how important body language and tone is to how you communicate. You know, you can see the chart here is that 55% of what you're saying comes from your body language, and just 7% comes from your spoken words. And then 38% is your tone of voice and I guess like loudness and stuff like that. But body language is so important in real life, and it's nice to see that represented in FM as well. Okay, let's move on to match day now. And the first screenshot we have here is expected goals, which has been a bit of a pair of buzzwords in the past sort of year or two, especially in terms of like real life football. Expected goals is very much it's like the hipster stat, isn't it? Like it's the one that everybody goes to, and you see it in other stuff as well. Like FPL, people always rave about attempted assists, and that's not something you really see in FM either. You get like chance creation, and you see how many assists, but attempted assists and individual scoring chances aren't really seen very much, and neither is expected goals. You'll be better equipped than ever to pick up 3 points thanks to a refined flow that helps you understand, prepare for, experience, manage and debrief from all those important 90 minutes. So more data than ever. We've got a pre-match build up here, so we can see the team news looks really good. Like the team sheets, that looks cool. Like before you had like the pitch layout. I'm sure you'll still get that, because this doesn't have a tactic. You can't see what shape your team's playing. So this is it's a bit different. I'm sure there'll be another. Oh, this is before the dressing room. So yeah, does this replace the team sheets then? There's no tactic. I don't know. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But we have some social roundup on the left. So the social feed is not just one page now. You can see your social feeds, I guess, at halftime and full time and before the match. You know, Timothy Young is happy that Hernandez is starting. Team talks, again, you can see the body language here, pointing your finger, hands in your pockets, which I don't think you should really be doing at all if you're a manager, unless it's like a friendly. So yeah, it looks like when you get that team sheet, you don't see the team's formation. You've got to try and work it out for yourself. That's quite interesting, because looking at this, like Monier, Hummels, Akanji, Guerrero, that looks very much like a back four. So you've got to try and assess for yourself what shape the team's playing, because you know what, from their team you might think, oh, they're playing a 3-5-2, and then you get to the game and it may well be like a 4-4-2, who knows. Now in match presentation, I like this. I really like this. Like the amount of screen that is taken up by the match, it's perfect, because before you had all the stuff along the top, you had the bar along the bottom as well. Like I like the fact that the match itself dominates the screen here. It's brilliant. I like it. The Show Me menu replicates information that a manager can request to view during a match. So that's where you get your match stats and your player stats and your opposition's shape. I guess you can see it from there. Animation and graphical improvements, which they always make every year. Hopefully you'll see a lot less goals from long range, and we'll see more chances converted from one-on-ones, because there's not nearly enough being scored. Set pieces as well, hopefully they get a bit of a look in. So there's expected goals, and Sci Sports is the new sort of data specialists they're working with. They used Prozone in the past. You've got things like Opta as well, but Sci Sports is the one they're using. So the final one here, FM21 match days are more memorable, realistic and action-packed than ever before. Chart a course from pre-match preparation right up to kick-off with more analysis and insight to help make better decisions for success. The match action itself now incorporates broadcast elements, the new dugout view for simple powerful managerial control and looks better than ever, while the incorporation of new stats and expected goals adds a layer of analytical insight, I can't talk, to the effectiveness of your play. Quite simply, in FM21, you won't be able to wait for match day to come around. So big changes to your match day experience. Recruitment is the next thing we're going to look at, and we've got a screenshot here of a recruitment meeting, which I guess shows you where you can improve. So you used to get the team reports that you can look at any time, like the team report, which tells you if you're lacking in certain positions or you're strong in certain positions. So this guy here, the meeting agenda says that the top point is that there could be better options out there to improve on your striker. FM21 modernises a club's recruitment process, bringing it more in line with the way things work behind the scenes in real life. So we've got recruitment meetings, we've got new recruitment roles, a realistic transfer market and agent interaction. So when you're trying to sign players, you can focus on specific things about maybe age and specific positions. So in terms of transferring players, of course, you've got your scouts, which look at the attributes of a player, but then the analyst will tell you about your player's stats. Like you could have a player, I've got experience of this, a player that looks fantastic, like his finishing's good, and technically he looks good, and physically he's pacey and he's got good mentals, and then your data analysis sends you something and they've scored 2 goals in the season. So data is something that's going to be very, very important, and data analysts are going to be just as much as important as a scout reporter. The data report is going to be just as important. And a realistic transfer market, of course, we'll have a look a little bit about the COVID effects, because of course it's going to hamper a lot of clubs financially, so it's going to be harder to sign players. Loan moves as well. Something we could talk about today is one of the ways that loans are changing in FM21. Now you'll be able to agree future loan deals outside of transfer windows, meaning you can get those short-term deals signed and sealed well ahead of schedule. You'll need to wait for the transfer window to open before they can link up with your squad, but you can organise a loan in the middle of the season, and they'll join you in January or in the summer or whenever your season ends. Loan moves going to be important. Lots of loan to buy options, I guess. I know they've been in game before, but I think you'll see a lot more of them because I don't think they get used enough. You tend to loan players and then they go back, but using that optional future fee or mandatory future fee, I think you're going to see a lot more of that from the AI as well as from players. Asking agent about availability. So, you might be a player you're interested in, you make an offer. The club is not going to be interested, but going to their agent might work just as well. The player may be unhappy and, the agent may want to try and force through a move for his player, but the club might not want to move. And it's also a good way to deduce wage demands for the players as well, is speaking to their agent, because your scout report might say that they should be available for between, I don't know, £10,000 and £15,000 a week, and then you go to actually offer them a deal and they say, no, I want 25. So it's good to actually try and work out from their agent what exactly they want, because sometimes the scout report, the wage demands are a little bit off. So a little bit of a shorter one in terms of recruitment, but yeah, new analysts and different ways of recruiting. So you can go to agents, you get these recruitment meetings as well. You can work out exactly what you need for your squad and for your tactic. So yeah, that's it for recruitment. End of season is the last one before we look at all the COVID stuff. So it looks like you get like an end of season package, which is something that I always look at. Once I reach the end of a season in one of my series, I'll always look at our best players and what some of the key moments, and you always get those sort of post-season meetings which tell you like your top 3 players from your fans and your best moments, your worst moments. It's something I always try to look at once I've done with the season. Now it looks like the trophy presentations are a bit different, because before they were very much like a 10-second thing which didn't really bring you too much. This looks a lot better. Maybe it might be a bit longer, but yeah, the trophy presentations look very different. A brand new sort of trophy animation, That looks much, much better. Confetti as well, pyro, that's nice. So it looks like the end of season you get like a whole package for like your end of season, which is nice to see that it gives it its own thing. So that's nice. So they make a big deal about like the end of season and how important that is. Now let's have a look at COVID-19. Sorry to bring the mood down, but we need to look at it. But when COVID-19 first brought the world to a virtual standstill a few months ago, although it seems like years at this point, tell me about it. People started to ask us via social media if we were going to update F120 to include the virus and effects. They decided not to because they wanted Football Manager to be an escape from the pandemic and lockdown and all that. So yeah, which is it's nice for them to do. But F121, I feel like, you know, they have to at least acknowledge that it happened. Maybe not in game, but acknowledge some of the effects that the pandemic has had on football. Of course, we had months without any fixtures, which meant that our season started in like September. It started much later. No Euro 2020 this year. I'm not sure if that means they'll have a Euro 2020 in 2021. That I don't actually know about that. I might have to ask about that. So this one's very much going to be a lot of text. It's not going to be any screenshots here. But yeah, let's have a look at what they've said. So in terms of finances, of course, COVID has really affected clubs financially. Of course, we've seen Macclesfield go out of business and they're now hopefully going to rejoin Tier 10 next year. And, you know, several other clubs struggling as well. But they've rewritten chunks of the transfer system to ensure superstars and Wonderkids retain value. So they're going to be a lot harder to buy, it seems, maybe. We'll see more loan to buy offers, which I mentioned earlier. The value of mid-range players dropping and clubs in real financial trouble trying to move players on a more regular basis. But that will start to normalise after a little while. Once the money comes back in, and the ship will start to steady. So a little bit of realism there, but it looks like the crowd attendance will stay. There's not going to be any games without any fans, depending on which club you are. If you're Man City, then there might not be any fans. But matches are going to have fan attendance, which I think is absolutely correct. You can't have matches with no fans. The football calendar has been adjusted, so the start dates from this season will stay, but they will go back to normal the following season. So your save start date will be a bit different as well. Pre-season will still be 5 to 6 weeks due to the game normally starting at the end of July. But this season's EFL Championship kicks off in September rather than the traditional August. So you still get the same length for pre-season. It just means that your game won't start the same sort of time as it normally does. But again, this stuff will go back to normal after one season. The substitutes are as they are in real life. So in the Champions League this season, a team gets 5 substitutes rather than 3. The Premier League have kept it at 3 because you know, they're going to keep it as it is. But UEFA have said that clubs are allowed to have 5 subs if they want. And the European competitions, so the Champions League and the Europa League, do allow for 5 subs. But again, that will go back to normal after a season. And they've been very clear that COVID-19 will not be an illness on FM21. So no coronavirus testing, no people self-isolating. It's not going to be a element that appears in the game. So again, I think that's absolutely correct. I'm not sure if this poll is still live or not, or if it's been taken down, but it was about whether you would shake hands or elbow bump with like other managers and stuff. I'm not sure if that poll's still up. It went up on October 20th, so it is still up. It is still up. Did I vote for something? Yeah, I did. I voted for handshake, and that's at 63%. So that seems like that's going to stay as it is. So, of course, COVID-19 has impacted the game, and it's the reason why it's a bit later than usual. But like I've said before, they've done a phenomenal job to get this game out at all, let alone in November. So I think they've done really, really well. And the last thing we're going to look at is Miles's Twitter, which I do follow. First of all, we'll look at the profile picture. And the managers, this is one of the manager designs, and it looks better than it did last year already. So we'll start from the first ones. So this was a new profile picture, and you know what, it's much more work done on the manager designs. Their hair already looks better. Last year even, their hair was absolutely awful and ugly. So that's good. The whole KFC thing is just, I don't know what that is. Manager models. I like this, you know, the regens or the new gens. I say regen, I don't know about you, but they look better already. A couple of years ago, they were ugly as anything. They were dreadful, but past couple of years, they've definitely improved the regen faces. And then he's made a couple more posts about FM stuff. It's more about quality of life than anything. So not really any big changes, but just a couple of little tweaks here and there. So this one here is staff contract negotiations, which look better. I don't know if other people do this, but when I get to an end of season, I like to try and get all my staff contracts done at the same time. But sometimes I will just leave them for my director of football. But if I'm the person that's trying to renew contracts for my staff, I do them all at the same time. So that does mean that I end up with about 10 emails telling me that the staff members have all signed new deals. But this, it looks like it merges all those contracts renewals into one email. So again, it just clogs up your inbox less. And then yesterday, it is a tutorial sort of screenshot, which I don't, unless you're brand new to the game and you never played it before, or you've been away from the game for a while, then you can use this. But I'm not going to be using the tutorial in this upcoming game. I should be okay. But the tutorial's changed a little bit. And then just today, just a few hours ago, simple icons to indicate how your players previously performed in training. This week's training ratings are great, but it helps to know how that compares with the previous week. So past couple of games, there has been a training rating, but you can see here that which player is this? Is this Drinkwater? Oh no, it's Foster, Ben Foster. Had a training rating of 7.05, which was slightly lower than the last one, which was 7.55, which is a slight improvement. So it does tell you if your players are improving or declining in their training performances. I believe he said he's going to be tweeting daily with some screenshots. But again, they're not going to be massive updates. They're just going to be very small sort of quality of life improvements that they've made. And again, there's going to be some stuff that we'll have to find out for ourselves as well. But that's it. I don't know how long this video is. Probably too long. But I thought it'd be better to clump all these updates into one video rather than do one for the video and one for the blog post and one for COVID. I think putting them all into one video is probably better, but it might be a little bit long, in which case I'm sorry. But that's how we're going to do it. So I think that's going to be it until FM21 comes out. Unless there's another big update, which I'm not sure that there will be. I think that's going to be pretty much it, apart from those little small updates. So yeah, I can't wait for the game. It's going to be about 2 to 3 weeks before we get a beta. 10th at the latest, I think. So when's the 10th? That is on a Tuesday. So yeah, about 2.5 to 3 weeks. Yeah, about 2.5 weeks. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. West Ham going to be the beta this year, of course, and then around Christmas, New Year, we'll have the Steaua Bucharest save, which I'm really looking forward to as well. As long as I can do it, it's going to need a extended database to get me the Romanian third division, but hopefully it'll be okay. And yeah, that's going to be it for FM21 until we get the game itself. I think GeoGuessr is still going to be out sporadically over the next couple of weeks. And it's been really fun doing that, like 5 or 6 videos of GeoGuessr looking at European stadiums. Yeah, they've been a fun change from FM. I've missed FM, and FM20 has been uninstalled from my game for a couple of weeks from my computer. So, you know, having something a little bit different to play, it's quite cool. So we'll get some more of that out over the next couple of weeks, and then we will be ready for FM21 and West Ham. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, drop a like down below. Leave comments if you haven't done so already. Or if you're new, then do subscribe and turn on notifications. We're still trying to get to that 800 subscribers. We're 12 away as it stands. We're on 788. So if we can get to that 800 before the game comes out, that would be lovely. Trying to help me out with that. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.